Some heroes shine bright on brilliant summits. Some heroes only show up in the darkest of times. This hero only shows up to answer the question. Hey everybody, it's Alexander. Welcome to Buddyfight News Corner and this tournament report on how we did today at today's shop qualifier at Superstar Card Gaming. I played Hero World, my home world, using Captain Answer Monster Mash. Deck profile will be somewhere in this vicinity, and it was a real blast. I had a great time rushing down my opponents and sometimes getting my item destroyed repeatedly. And I got penetrated kind of hard, but it was a blast. I came in 4th place, which was really amazing, all things considered. I was testing a new concept that my team dared me to do, and like any kind of hero, I rose to the challenge. So, round 1 I played against Jackknife Toolbox in Dragon World. They were able to search out and use a lot of different jacks to accomplish a lot of different goals, but at the end of the day, my defense and my ability to rush down and crank out a lot of damage with my 2 crit attacks repeatedly really won the day. I was a little bit scared when he dropped Jackknife Drum with the extra 3 crit and penetrate and all that soul, but because it was off to the side, it didn't really stop me from going in on my pressure in the next turn after I survived, and it was using Boomerang Dragon, a lot of really classic cards, which I can appreciate. My deck features a whole bunch of classics, going to be featured somewhere in this area. Anyway, moving right along. So then in round 2, I played against Cardians. Now this was my only loss in the 4 rounds of Swiss, and that was a rough, very heroic match of amazing, powerful items reaching even greater heights. When it came down to, in a lot of ways, was the fact that he was able to use base form of Cardian to consistently destroy my item, and I didn't have a whole lot of ways to compensate. Yeah, it was a blast. I had a great fight. My opponent ended up making top 8 as well, but he got knocked out, so I didn't get a chance to get my rematch with him. But it was definitely a good fight, but I did lose that one. That was my only loss in Swiss. Round 3, I played against Tyrants, and oh my goodness, it was the Armonite Tyrant mix that was able to just crank out so much damage, have the big high crit multi-attacking item, and it was set up to be a really scary matchup. In all honesty, in that game, in game 2, if my opponent had played his turn out a little bit differently, things could have gone a lot worse for me. I understand why he did what he did, because instead of link attacking, he split up his attacks into multiple attacks for fear that I would mock braver one of his big attacks. But what it came down to was at the end of the combo, because of the cards I was playing, he wasn't able to successfully solo attack for a game with to get off my defense. And it was just he didn't know whether or not I had a mock braver hand, and I can't blame him for that because mock braver is a powerful card. And so I managed to grab a hold of round 3. Then going into round 4, I played Executioners, and that was also really scary because Executioners have a shield that can do a whole lot of work, and they can keep recycling their shield. Their defensive capabilities are great. Their resource generation is off the charts, and the amount of damage they can do is really good. Now, they do start with 8 life, but they also start with 4 gauge, and they make a whole lot of use out of this. But like I said, I was able to grasp a hold of victory in the very clutch and crucial moments, and which then led to going into top 8. And my first game of top 8, I played against Black Dragons. And that was also really intense because he was milling a lot of my key parts, which was quite terrifying, not going to lie. But at the end of it all, in game 2, I managed to grasp a hold of it because I had no gauge, draw, charge, draw, and I drew into E-Launch Drum, and E-Launch Drum wins games. Unfortunately, E-Launch Drum was not enough in order to grab the next game when I played against Battle Poets, and Battle Poets' ability to consistently penetrate through my shields really just rendered so much of my deck irrelevant. I cited in answers. All of my answers and my things that I cited in will be talked about in the deck profile. And I really wish I'd seen the card I cited in, because if I did, I would have survived and I probably would have won. But no hard feelings. That's how Buddyfight goes. Sometimes you see the answers, sometimes you don't. But one thing about me, I'm a man who seeks to answer the question. And if your question is what's on my deck, stay tuned. Click the link, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to have even more fun stuff in the deck profile. Stay tuned for even more amazingness here at Buddyfight News Corner.
And this is our new recruit for the Buddyfight News Corner, Masood. And this is Alex over here behind the camera. And this is the Buddyfight News Corner signing off.